Hi, it's Beth at the Somerset County Library, and today I want to share with you how to get started with Google email. If you don't have an email account or you want to set up a separate account for job searches or whatever, I'll show you how to do that. And if you're interested in borrowing any of the Chromebooks that we have available to borrow, you're going to have to use either an outside source to store your files, such as a flash drive, or you're going to need something like the cloud, the mysterious cloud. And Google does have a drive available free of charge with your Google account. So that's a great way. So that's a great reason to have a Google account. So let's get started. So email is a quick and easy way to communicate with other people. It's a more convenient way to share large amounts of information than texting. Email allows you to share documents and pictures over great distances. You may just be sharing information with a friend about your weekend plans, or you may share project ideas and information with a coworker. In order to send an email, you need to have an account with an email service provider. There are several email providers available. Google, Yahoo, and Outlook are just a few examples. An email address is made up of two parts. And let me show you. So an email address is made up of two parts, the username and the domain name. So in this example here, somebody@gmail.com, somebody is the username. And then the @gmail.com, that is the domain name. So this is a Gmail email address. And an email always contains the @ sign. That's one way that you can tell an email address apart from, say, a web address. Think about what username you want to use to create your email account, keeping in mind that this address will be sent to potential employers. You want to keep it professional. You can always have a separate account that you just use for your friends. So, in this example here, I have beerdrinkinghillbilly@gmail.com. So that might not give the best impression if you're sending that to an employer. If you want to have that as your username for an email account that you just share with friends, go for it. But for a professional email account, you'll most likely want to do something like first initial last name or first and last name. And sometimes when you're trying to set up an account and you have a username in mind, Google might tell you that's already being used, and they'll give you some suggestions of a username that you can use instead. So, to start with, we need to open up our web browser, and in the address bar, type google.com. Okay, so when you type in google.com, this screen will appear. And at the top here, you have Gmail, images, and this waffle looking icon. That is the Google Apps icon. So that is where you're going to find, you can find search, you can find maps, YouTube, Google Play, Gmail, Google Meet, the Google Drive that I was talking about earlier, calendar, contacts list, photos, and they also have Google Docs. So if you need to work on writing a resume, you can use Google Docs, Google Sheets, slides, and so forth. And if you want to learn any more about using some of these other apps, We do have a Google for Education classroom set up, and I will give you more information about that later. Now, if you have a Gmail account, go ahead and sign in. If not, you'll want to create an account. Enter in your first and last name, and then down here where it says username at gmail.com, this is where you're going to put that username that you've created. Now you can use letters, numbers, and periods. So if you wanted to use your name, you could do like Beth period Koenig. If you wanted to add numbers to it, you'll also create a password. Now you want to make sure you create a strong password, and to give you some tips, I have a video to share with you.
One important step in making sure your personal information and email accounts are safe is to create a strong password. In this video, you will learn different methods for creating a strong password and choose a password that is unique to your Google account. If you already have a Google account, update your password using the methods in this video, even if you think you already have a strong password. A strong password is one that other people can't guess easily. If someone is able to guess your password, they could use your account without permission. That person would have access to any sensitive information you included in your account profile, as well as personal emails you send and receive. They could even pretend to be you and scam other people while using your email address. By using a strong password, you protect your private information and your Google account. If you're continuing on from the previous video, the next step in creating your Google account is to create your password. If you already have an account, check to see if you're signed in. Then navigate to your account page. A strong password should be a mix of letters, numbers, and symbols. Symbols are characters like punctuation marks, a hashtag, or dollar sign. There are many possible options to use when creating a password. Pick one that helps you remember your password easily. Long passwords are safer. Use memorable song lyrics, a famous quote, or a funny poem. You can use numbers and symbols instead of some of the letters in a phrase you've chosen. Or abbreviate a sentence that is meaningful or memorable to you. A Gmail password requires at least 8 characters. A password with fewer than 8 characters won't be allowed. Additionally, when you choose a password, avoid things that might be easy for others to guess, such as password 123, 123 ABCDEF, your name or initials, names of your family members or pets, single whole words such as sunshine or pumpkins, birthdays, anniversaries or holidays, street names or addresses, or your social security number. Finally, you should create a new password every time you sign up for a new website. Don't use your Google password for other websites. If someone gains access to your password, You don't want them to be able to sign into your other accounts. You might sign up for an online account with your bank, a favorite store, or a social network site. Different websites have different requirements for what your password must include. It's important to remember when you create a new account to use a strong password that is difficult to guess. Once you've chosen your password, retype it on the next line. Both passwords must match. This protects you from mistyping your password, so you don't get locked out of your account. Congratulations! You've just secured your Gmail account with a strong, unique password. It's best not to write your password down or save it to a public computer. However, if you don't think you'll remember it and you used a shortened phrase or sentence for your password, write down the full sentence as a clue. The final step in creating your Google account is the recovery information. These are details such as your birthday and phone number to help you access your Google account if you forget your password. If you're creating a new Google account, enter your birthday and phone number. If you have another email address, add that as well. If you've just changed your password from your main account page, use that page to add additional recovery information or add two-factor authentication, an additional step for keeping your account safe. Fill out the rest of the form with your account information. Once you finish creating your account, move on to the next video to learn more about your Google account and how you can use it to plan activities with a friend. Now it's your turn. Create a new strong password using at least 8 characters. Avoid easily guessed passwords like your name or birthday. Add additional recovery information.
Okay, so she's given us some very good information about creating a strong password. And I know it's hard to remember the passwords. There's so many different websites and everyone has to have a different password. It's hard to keep them all straight. But there are apps out there that can make it easier. There's sort of like a password vault, and they'll keep track of your passwords for you. So all you have to do is remember the password to enter your vault, and then you'll have access to your passwords. Okay, so I am going to sign into my account. If I can remember my password. As I said, if I can remember my password. All right, there we go. So I am signed in, and access my Gmail account. Just that I could click here on Gmail and it'll take me directly to it. Or you can click on the Google Apps icon and click on Gmail there. and it will open up to your inbox. And let's just take a little tour of the Gmail environment. So first of all, if you ever have any questions about how to do something in your account, you have this question mark here that is the Google support. And you have the settings icon, and next to that is the Google Apps icon. And that is where, as I said before, you can access your Google Drive or any of the other apps that are available with your Google account. And then you have your Google account icon. And you can have your picture there if you want to, or you can just leave it as the first initial of your name. And here you'll be able to manage your Google account, and if you're on a public computer, you'll definitely want to make sure you sign out of your account when you're done. So you would sign out there. Okay, and to start writing an email, you'll go over to here to where it says compose. You have the plus sign, and just click on that. And you can see this box pops up. This is your new message box. And just can start with typing an email address into the tube. To enter an email address, you can either select one that is in your contacts list. So if I click on to, that'll open up my contacts list. And I can click the person that I want to send an email to. Or if you know the email address of the person that you want to communicate with, just type in that address there. And remember that the email address is one that has the @ sign and the Gmail, Yahoo, Outlook.com. And you'll notice over here, you'll see CC and BCC. Now the difference between those is, if you click on the CC, that'll send a carbon copy of your email to everybody on that list. And the BCC is a blind carbon copy, so no one will see who else you are sending the email to. So if you're sending an email to a coworker and you want to make sure that your manager has a copy of what you've sent to them, but not necessarily want your fellow employee to know that you sent it to the manager, you can do a blind carbon copy. And then subject. You want to make sure that your email contains a subject heading so that when people open up their inbox, they will know what the email is about and know that it's not spam that's just been sent to them. And then in this box here, this is where you will start typing your message. And down here you can undo what you just did. You can redo something that you've undone. If you want to change the font, in most cases with a professional email, you'll just use one of the basic fonts, but you can change the font if you want to do something a little more bold. If you're emailing a friend and you want something casual, you can use the Comic Sans, but for a professional email, you probably want to stick to one of these more traditional fonts. You can also change the size of the font, so if you want to make it easier for the individual receiving your email to read, you can make the font larger. You can emphasize a word by making it bold. You can even change the color. You can use italics. Underline. So this, the A with the line under it, that's going to be your text color. You can also change the background color, but I think I'd probably stay away from that so much. If you did change the background color, maybe like a gray or light brown, but you don't want anything too distracting that would be hard to read. You can change the alignment, so if you want something that's centered in the email, you can do that. Or you can align everything to the right. The default is to align to the left. If you're making a list, you're making a list of things to do. You can create your list and let's see, highlight that. Oops, highlight that. And I can use one of these too. I can either use numerical list or I can use a bullet list. And you also have the indent. More formatting options, so you can quote, strike through, or remove formatting. So all of that is under the large A, the underline, that is all the text formatting that you can do in your email. Now, next to the text formatting, you have a paperclip, and that is how you will attach files to your email. So if I'm working with a fellow employee and I want to send them a copy of a report that I just ran, I can go to my desk and find the file, click open, and that file is available for them to open right here. Okay, next to that I have insert link. So if I am talking to my friend about the awesome programs that are available through the Somerset County Library, about what's going on, I can actually include the link to the Somerset County Library and just highlight Somerset County Library, click on Insert Link, type the web address to the Somerset County Library, somersetcolibrary.org, and now when my gets this email, instead of having to look up the web address or type out the web address, they can just click on this link that is in the email, and it will take them directly to the Somerset County Library website. Okay, next to the insert link, you have insert emoji, and with professional emails, you want to stay away from emojis so much. If you're emailing a friend, emojis are a fun way to express your emotions, how you're feeling. So sometimes when you say something in an email, it doesn't always come across the right way, so you could always add an emoji before or after what you write to convey that, no, I'm just joking, or express your frustration at something that's going on. So that is emojis, and like I said, with a professional email, you don't want to use those too much. You can also insert files using your drive. So if you have your resume saved on your drive, you can just go to insert from drive, and you can either insert a drive link or insert as an attachment. And I'll show you the difference. I want to send a friend this form to fill out. And I'll send them a link in the email. Or if I do insert attachment, it's not going to let me do insert attachment. Okay. If I want to send them a photo, insert photo, and I can either insert as an attachment or insert inline. So if I attach it, it'll just show up with the file name. If I insert it inline, as soon as they open up the email, they'll see the picture right there. And if you create a signature for yourself, and it's a good idea to use a signature when you're sending an email, because especially if you're sending it to a potential employer, it'll give them your contact information without them having to see who you are. So under settings in general, you go look for signature, title your signature, and then over here, this is where you actually create the signature. So if you want your name, you want to put, if you have a title that you want to include, in my case, where you work and the contact number, email address, anything that will help the person that's receiving the email be able to get in touch with you. So if I want to insert this signature, I can just do that, and it signs my name and gives all my contact information. All right, so I've written my email, I've included some files with it, I've done some formatting of my text. I'm ready to go and send my email. So I make sure that the email address is correct. I have a good subject heading, and you just hit send. You can also, if you click the down arrow here, have the option to schedule when your email is sent. So if you want to delay sending your email, say you're working on something and either you know the person's off or you just don't want to deal with it right now, but you do want to remember to get that email sent, you can go ahead and write your email and schedule it to send at a date and time that works for you. So if you want to send it tomorrow morning, you can do that. And undo a view message there. And you'll notice that when you start typing your email, it'll automatically start saving to the draft. So until you actually hit send or schedule to send, it'll be in this drafts folder. So if you should get kicked offline for some reason, or you have to walk away and take care of something else, you can come back to your email, go to your drafts folder, and your email will still be there. And if I look under scheduled, I'll see that I have an email scheduled to go out tomorrow morning. And if I wanted to, I can just get rid of that. Okay. So opening an email. So as I said, when you open up your email account, it'll automatically open to the inbox. But if you click on more and scroll down and click on all mail, you'll see there's a whole lot more emails in there than what was showing in my inbox. Some of those are the drafts that I've been working on. Some of them are emails that I have sent out. If you look under spam, I don't have any spam there, but you can set certain emails to go directly to spam if they're practically junk mail and you don't want to deal with them. You can just send them to spam. Or Google may filter your emails for you and decide that this is probably spam. So sometimes it's a good idea to check your spam folder, especially if you're expecting an email from somebody. Sometimes they get sent to the spam folder, and I want to check those to make sure that an important email didn't get marked as spam when it shouldn't have been. If you look down here under categories, you can see that Google has filtered my emails. Some of them they have marked as social. Others have been marked as updates. Don't have any forums. And promotions. So that's one way of keeping track of what is in your what is in your inbox or in your email account. Now, if you open up your inbox and you want to read an email that you received, you go to that email and just click on it, and it will open up. If it's something that needs a response, you can reply or forward. You may sometimes also see an icon to reply to all. Now you want to be careful with the reply and reply to all. If your boss sends out an email to everybody wanting to know what vacation time or what time off they need during the month so that they can work on the schedule. You don't need to hit reply to all and let everybody in the company know what days you need off. You just hit reply, a single reply to that person that originally sent you the email, and respond to them that way. If you hit reply to all, that'll go to everybody that the email was originally sent to, and everybody will know, I need time off to go to the doctors, whether they need to know it or not. So just be careful with that reply to all. And also be careful when you're forwarding information. Make sure that it is information that the person that you are forwarding it to actually needs to know. And if you're going through and you see spam in your email box, you can report the spam. And in the future, any emails from that address will get sent to your spam folder. Phishing is the same thing. Phishing is companies or individuals trying to get your personal information from you, and you don't want that in your inbox. Okay, speaking of spam, just like junk mail that we get through the post, you can get junk email, and it is called spam. So some things to look out for. Be suspicious of emails from people or organizations that you don't know. Look at the address. So if I open up the email address and I look at this email address right here, is that somebody that I know? Is it a company that I have an account with? Now, sometimes if you open up this email and the address, you can tell the address is like something totally off the wall. Now, LinkedIn, if they send you an email address, it's going to be at linkedin.com. So you know it's from LinkedIn. Now, if this said LinkedIn and this was like Doris at gmail.com, that would probably be a suspicious email. And check out the subject line. Is it someone trying to sell you something? You're going to get a lot of emails of people, they somehow get your information when you're browsing another website, or perhaps it's a site that you have purchased from before and they send you dozens of emails trying to get you to buy more things from them. Don't get hooked by a phishing scam. So if you receive an email asking you for personal information, do not respond to it. If it is a legitimate company that you actually have an account with, go directly to that company's website and update any information there. But don't respond to the email or click links that are provided within. There are people out there who send emails that look like they're reputable, they have the company's name, and they're just trying to get your information from you. So to keep your information safe, it's best just to go directly to the company's site and check your information there. And know that places like the bank and the IRS are never going to email you and ask you for your personal information. Avoid strange attachments. The best policy is to refrain from downloading files or clicking through links in a strange email unless you trust the source. So if it's somebody that you know, a friend or a company that you actually deal with, and you know that the address is legitimate, okay. Otherwise, don't touch it. These links can contain malware, viruses, and other types of malicious material that can easily be downloaded to your system. And then finally, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. So just like the junk mail that comes to your mailbox at home, people are going to try to offer you something, and if it sounds too good to be true, they trying to give you something for free, it's probably a hoax. So don't fall for it. So just like your junk mail from the post, check through your emails, put a check in the box next to the ones you want to get rid of. Let me show you here, back in my inbox, if I want to put a check in the box in front of the emails that I want to delete. Go up here to the garbage can and bye-bye. Now, if you accidentally delete something that you've decided that you want later, scroll down here to the trash. Find the email that you want to recover, and then go up here to move to, and pick the spot that you want to send it to. And just send it back to the inbox. Okay, and here is another video about managing your email inbox.
In the previous videos, you sent an email to your partner or yourself. You practiced opening emails and responding to them. In this video, you will learn how to determine an email's credibility. You will decide which emails to keep and which to delete. Remember that you should only open emails from trustworthy senders. Some people will try to use email to trick you into giving them your personal details, passwords, or financial information by pretending to be someone you know. You might get an email that looks like it is from a well-known online retailer. Inside, it might say that you need to enter your credit card information to complete an order. You might get similar email requests from what seem to be bank or government agencies, like the IRS. This is called phishing, and it is illegal. To avoid being the victim of a phishing scheme, review the sender and subject lines for all the emails you receive. To start, open your Gmail account in a new tab. Keep this video open in a separate tab so you can easily go back and forth between the two. As you've learned previously, every email includes the name of the sender and a subject line. After completing the other videos in this activity, you should have received several emails. When you send yourself an email, you will see your name listed as the sender. You know that you are a trustworthy source and whether you've sent yourself a message. So it's safe to open this email. Friends, family members, classmates, and coworkers are all usually safe sources as well. If you've given your email address to a store, organization, or website, you may be on their email list. They might send you coupons, invites to special events, or updates on the group's activities. The name of the group should be listed as the sender. Emails from a known sender are usually safe to open. But be cautious when clicking any links inside, opening attachments, or giving out your personal information. Phishing schemes often ask for money, bank information, credit card numbers, personal information such as a social security or ID number, or passwords. Never give out this information over email, even if you think you know the sender. If you don't recognize the name of the person who sent the email, consider whether the person is trustworthy. If you're not sure, review the subject line. It's a good idea to review the subject line for all emails you receive, even if you think you know the sender. Even trusted senders can have their email accounts stolen or hacked. Internet scam emails and websites often look legitimate at first, but if you look closely, something isn't quite right. If you hover over the email address, it might show that it isn't really from your friend or the company it says it is. If you receive an email that you think might be untrustworthy, do not open it. Delete it from your inbox. To do this, check the box next to the email. Then, delete it. If you delete an email by accident, recover it by looking in your trash folder. Check the box next to the email you want to take out of the trash. Then, use the folder management button to move the email back to your inbox. Another option for removing untrustworthy emails is to mark them as spam. Spam is the junk mail in your email inbox. When you mark something as spam, it is removed from your inbox and reported as an unsafe message. Check the box next to the email you think is unsafe. Then report it as spam.
I think that moose problem one is a spam.
Nice work! You've learned to manage your email inbox by finding appropriate messages and deleting spam. Now it's your turn. Review the emails in your inbox to make sure the senders and subject lines are trustworthy. Delete emails you don't need. Mark junk emails as spam.
And finally, in order to be able to send an email, you need to have addresses. You can collect email addresses so that they are always handy whenever you need them. Click on the Google Apps link and scroll down until you find the icon that says Contacts. Click on the Create Contacts, and then you can fill in the person's information. The first name, last name, company that they work for, their job title, email address. You can even include their phone number and any other notes that you might want to keep handy about that person. Once you've entered in all their information, click Save. You can also add a person to your contacts list if they send you an email. So if you click on, this case, Google Forms. And if I want to add them to my contacts list, I would just click on this person with the plus sign next to him. Now if I go back to my contacts, you can see Google Forms is now part of my contacts list. And you may want to do that with certain companies that you deal with, especially if their emails tend to get sent to your spam folder. You want to make sure they're in your contacts list so that they won't be marked as spam. And that is everything I have on using Google or Gmail. There are a few tips that you may want to keep in mind for using email, the email etiquette. One is only discuss public matters. You don't want to discuss anything that's personal or private because emails are easy to forward on to anybody, and anybody could get hold of that information. Don't email angry. So if you're mad at somebody, hey, type out that angry letter, and once you hit that send button, you can't unsend it. So make sure you calm down, compose yourself, compose what you want to say. Yes, you may want to broach the subject with that person, but you want to make sure you do it in a calm way. And so if you want to type that angry email out, don't hit send. Walk away from it for a little while and come back and then see, okay, yeah, I need to tone it down here. Okay, avoid using shortcuts to real words. And this is one of my biggest pet peeves, is people using emoticons, jargon, or slang. And I'm left there trying to figure out, what are they trying to tell me? Because some of these acronyms that people use, it's like, I have no clue what they're saying. So spell out the entire word. Make sure you include a clear subject line. Don't get mistaken for spam. So in your subject line, avoid using all caps or all lowercase, and those that include URLs and exclamation points tend to look like spam to the recipient. And as I said, be aware of the reply to all. You don't want to accidentally send everybody information that they don't need. Always include a signature, that way people can get back to you easily. And just remember that your email is a reflection of you. So that is everything that I have on using Gmail. And as I said, if you want to learn more, so if you go to applydigitalskills.withgoogle.com, and you'll want to sign in with your Gmail account. So that's another good reason to have a Gmail account. And I'll just sign in. Okay, so I have a personal enrichment series class set up. I also have a digital class set up, but I don't have the class code for that one. So if you sign in, it'll ask you for a class code, and this class code is 8GQS3F. Enter in that code, and it should send you into our personal enrichment series online class. And you can see I have lessons in here from creating a resume using Google Docs, writing a cover letter, how to use video conference with Google Meet, avoiding online scams. I mean, just some of these are just fun activities to help you learn how to use the Google apps that are available to you with your account. And you can do these lessons on your own time. You can log in whenever, access the account or access the class. And it's just a series of videos. And as you saw with the videos that I shared, it goes through the video, then it has the now it's your turn. And you can go walk through the process of whatever it is that you're learning. And then at the very end, it does have like a short little quiz. It's not really a graded quiz, it's more just like a test for yourself to see what you really learned or if there's something that you need to go back and review. So that is our Applied Digital Skills Google for Education classroom. So please sign up and learn more about the Google apps that are available. So I hope you learned something, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. We'll see you next time. Bye.